ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today, welcome all of you all the Sunday morning Bhagavad Gita class. So today we are on the second chapter, 39th slok we have to start. So as usual, before we start our class, let's start with our Mangalacharan. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुक्तपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Madhav, you will have to get me 2 battery cells from the bag, from our mic bag, and you will have to switch on the mic also. Get the Duracell ones. Huh? So, what do you all remember from last week's study? What do you remember? Take this, throw it. Yes, who remembers what from the last week's session? You all gone with the wind. So started the mic also. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. हरे कृष्णा। यस माता जी, आप कौन से क्लास के लिए आए हैं? मतलब नहीं माता जी, यहाँ पे कैसा है कि ग्रुप वाइज फिक्स्ड रहता है, तो आप कंटिन्यू नहीं कर पाएंगे, इसके लिए आपको वहाँ थोड़ा यहाँ थोड़ा कुछ मज़ा नहीं आएगा। दैट्स वाई आप सोच लीजिए, because this is basically an English class, that's the problem. So you're comfortable in English? Fine. Okay then, sit. Okay. Okay, is my voice clear now? Fine. Okay. Yes, what did we do last week? Anyone remembers? Yes. Where is Shlok? I can't see Shlok. Shlok, yes, you are there very much. So I remember you very much. You are there. Tell me fast. What did we discuss last week?
One of the main shlokas said that
सुख दुख समय कृत्वा लाभो अलाभो जयो अजयो ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापम अवाप्स्यसि. Yeah. So what do we understand from that?
we perform our duty is not thinking about loss or win
Not being attached to the fruits of it, and just do it because that's your duty, your karma. You have to do your karma. That's what Krishna is trying to tell, that without doing a karma you can't progress ahead. That's the problem. What else anyone remembers? Other than Shlok, I think there were other people also, if I am not mistaken. So I want other people also to speak. Yes, Priya Singh Mataji, you are there? You are not there, no? Okay, yes. बोलो. अरे सब लोग नोटबुक लेके आते हो, करते क्या हो नोटबुक का?
You gain both ways. If you gain also and lose also.
Yes, in both ways. It's a win-win situation when you're doing your performing karmas. What is your swadharma? Here Arjuna was a Kshatriya, so for him fighting was his swadharma. Okay. So next verse is just a conjunction verse. It's called a conjunction verse. What is a conjunction verse? It connects the one segment to another segment. So next verse, what is trying to say? Thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. तो हम लोगों को पहले क्या सिखाया गया? सांख्य योग सिखाया गया. What was that? Your soul cannot be cut, soul cannot be withered, soul cannot be dyed, it cannot be burnt, it cannot be cut, and all that. Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dayati bhavkana, all that. And na jayate mriyate va kadachan, ayam bhutva bhayita na bhuya. All that stuff has been discussed. That is the analytical part. So they are the attributes of the soul or the properties of the soul. And now listen, as I explained in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Partha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. So this is the most important problem is, we are all bound by some work or the other. कोई ना कोई हम कार्य में फंस जाते हैं, and that is leading to a big problem. So the very golden verse, which is very important, we'll discuss this at last today, this and the next verse. Neha vikrama anasho asti pratyavayorna vidyate swalpamasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Very, very important verse. I think everyone should by heart this verse, very important verse. And it gives us a lot of insights of what Krishna is trying to say, that how following our dharma, here dharma has got a big understanding, okay. Now we'll discuss what is dharma first. So, yes, look, what do you think? What is dharma? What do you understand by dharma, the word dharma? सुबह उठ के पूजा पाठ करना, is that dharma? Or is it like chanting some rounds is dharma? Or going to the temple is dharma? Or is it, like dharma can also be taken as swadharma, like you are a father, so you say you have to do a duty of a father. Today it's the Father's Day also. The Western celebrate as the Father's Day. Throughout the year the father is never remembered, only today is remembered. That's the difference. In Indian culture, we bow down and we fall out at the feet of our parents daily. So daily it's a father-mother day, but in Western culture, once in a while, a Sunday is a Father's Day. And what do? The father and son jointly go and have a liquor together. That's the Western style. But that's not the actual style. The one we have to understand is, Pitraran or Matraran kabhi utar nahi sakte. So, Swadharma can also be understood as dharma, as a father, as a son, as a son-in-law, as a husband. Multiple roles we all are playing. As a, if you say, if they ask any lady, she is a daughter of some parents, she is also a mother, she is also a wife, she is also a daughter-in-law. So many things. So, multiple roles. So, even that can be taken as a dharma. So, what is the meaning of dharma? Duty. Duty is dharma. Okay, fine. But now suppose can we put it this way, that if you don't do a duty of a good husband or a good son, you are doing adharma? Good. What else do you understand? I have already told you an n number of times. What is the definition of dharma? Dharayati iti adharma. That which you take on as a responsibility. So the responsibility once taken has to be fulfilled. But here, let's read what Srila Prabhupada is giving a very nice, beautiful translation to this. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement of the path on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Now, what is this advancement in this path, and what does this mean? What do we actually understand from this? General way, okay, let's be wrong, no problem. Nobody is going to give you marks over here, anyhow. Certificate milne wala nahi. So, what do you think? Yes, Rajesh Prabhu? Hmm.
He may do mistakes.
Hmm.
So God will protect him.
God will do, but what type of mistakes?
Maybe he doesn't follow the regulative principle,
Hmm.
or
Without following the regulative principle, one is not a human, he is an animal. One who follows 4 regulative principles. If someone says, once one person came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I have left meat. What Prabhupada said? So what? Even goats and sheep also eat grass. That's a fact, right? What you mean to say, if any vegetarian animal becomes what happened? You're searching for Bhagavad Gita. Go to Vamshi Hall. On the right side, you'll get. Just check it out. The last one. Vamshi Hall. Top on the above the. Yeah. So, just becoming a vegetarian doesn't make you a. It only makes you a human being. Even animals are vegetarians. So, what makes you a human being? Consciousness. Okay. Following 4 regulative principles makes you a human being, not a devotee. It doesn't make you a devotee. Huh? If one says, I am following 4 regulative principles, that means you are a perfect human being. उसके आगे तो आपका जर्नी स्टार्ट होता है. Your journey starts from that point. Yes.
Realize that I am the soul, not the body, and act accordingly.
The second point is more important. Everyone who is moving around in Hare Krishna land knows he is not the body and the soul. Every soul who is moving around in Hare Krishna land knows very well that he is not the body but the soul. But how many of us actually implement living a lifestyle of that sort? Because then the whole situation, the verse next to this is giving us still higher knowledge on the same path. So it is said, Swalpamasya dharmasya. Swalpa means little of following dharma. Trayate mahato bhayat. It saves you from the greatest danger. Fear of death. Okay, what else fear you got? Losing money. What are the fears? What are the general fears you got? You got any fear? No fear at all. My God. दूसरा एक था टाइगर, दूसरा था टाइगर ये. हाँ बोलो.
The greatest fear is getting into this life cycle of birth and death. So
Yes, very good. The greatest fear is going in the cycle of birth and death.
Greater fear is falling down in the cycle of
That is the worst fear.
next.
The worst fear is falling down in the animal yoni. Going into the animal yoni is the worst fear. And that can only be saved by one who follows dharma. So it is said, Swalpamasya dharmasya. Thoda sa bhi dharma kar liya aapne. Then it saves you from the greatest danger. And the greatest danger is, one may say, yes, Prabhuji, dying. Yes, it's a danger. Because you die means you take birth again. Second, you die. But then you take birth again as a human being is a question mark. If not, then you take birth as a 84 lakh species. May say 80 lakh species are birds, animals and insects. So you got so many variety. कोई भी होटल में इतना बड़ा मेन्यू कार्ड नहीं रहता. 80 लाख ऑप्शंस मिलता है. कोई भी इसमें मिलेगा आपको 80 लाख ऑप्शंस. You'll get only in human life you get this option. 80 lakh. Why 4 lakh? 4 lakhs are humans, huh? 4 lakh humans, 4 lakh types of humans. You go to Africa, Angola and all those places. They are also seem to be in a human body. But do they act like humans? Do they behave like humans? So that's why Chaitanya Charitamrita clearly says, there are 4 lakh species of humans. So don't worry. We all are one species. फिर भी we are only 40-50 only. So there are 4 lakh. I mean, it's like first is Annamay kosh, pranamay kosh, like some people for them only, like animals, they are like बस आज का अभी का खाना हो गया, कल का कल देखेंगे या नेक्स्ट टाइम का नेक्स्ट टाइम तो देखेंगे, वो सोच वाले लोग भी हैं. फिर उससे आगे के सोच वाले लोग हैं कि भाई प्राण में हमारा प्राण ही बचना चाहिए और कुछ नहीं बचना चाहिए. सो देयर वेरियस वैरायटीज ऑफ द पीपल हु कैन थिंक. I think there are enough chairs as just yourselves. Okay. So, where is doctor? Coming? Okay. So, one person is coming. Others, please get 2 chairs from outside. Okay. Now coming back to our topic. Yeah. So 4 lakh type of humans are there. Then we have got the full menu card. The menu card of you want to be a worm, insect, a cockroach in the gutter, a worm in the stool, a worm in the gutter. Just one variety. Yeah? You can be beautiful bird also, but usually beautiful birds are caged. So n number of options are being kept, but this is the biggest fear which we don't realize. We never realize. Okay, we are happy. I am enjoying this human birth and I am very happy in this human birth. I am doing a very good, nice, enjoying, eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Bas, badhiya kar raha hu main. But that is not the purpose. So that's why it said, Neha Abhikrama Nasho Asti. What does it mean? Na Iha Abhikrama. Endurance. Nasho. There is never a loss. In this endurance, there is never a loss. Because he says, Swalpamasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Swalpamasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Please, who will read the purport? Very important purport. Anyone read first.
Activity in Krishna consciousness or acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation of sense gratification is the highest transcendental quality of God. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. Any work began on the material plane has to be completed. Otherwise, the whole attempt becomes a failure. But any work begun in Krishna consciousness has a permanent effect, even though not finished. The performer of such work is therefore not at loss even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%. Whereas in material activity, without 100% success, there is no profit. Ajamila performed his duty in some...
Ajamil
performed his duty in some percentage of Krishna consciousness, but the result he enjoyed at the end was 100%. By the grace of Lord, there is a nice verse in this connection in Srimad Bhagavatam.
1 minute, just hold on. Before you go ahead, let's understand what Srila Prabhupada is trying to explain nicely. He's trying to say that this everything will come again later in the 8th chapter and the 6th chapter, sorry. In 6th chapter, when Arjuna will ask Krishna, what will happen if my devotion is half done? So if all my efforts will go down the drains. सीधी बात है ना. At least for 30-40 years, one doesn't eat, drink, doesn't eat non-veg, doesn't drink alcohol, doesn't do illicit sex, doesn't do gambling, follows all 4 regulative principles. Over and above, even he doesn't eat onion and garlic. So nice things he has to surrender with the hope, that he is going to go back to Godhead. And what if, after doing all that, it is not able to be successfully going back to Godhead? Then is it gone to a waste? Is it going to dogs? So that's why Krishna says, don't worry. That's another meaning of this verse. Neha Abhikrama Nasho Asti. So it clearly says, please, you do little of dharma. Suppose you have done 1%, so next birth you start from 2%. But all the wealth you have earned, all the degree you have earned, all the educational degrees what you have earned, everything is there. But all at the time of your death ceases. Suppose you are an engineer. After death, next birth, will you get the same engineer degree with you? No. You have to start again from A for apple, B for ball. Correct? You have to start doing your own studies, everything. Again, by the age of 30, 35, you get some nice fat degrees. And then again, at the time of death, everything ceases. So, what starts has an end. Whereas this is only one great devotion service, is the only one greatest thing which does not end. It only adds on. सिर्फ ऐड ऑन होता है. किया है आपने भक्ति, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं है. तो कम किया है, कोई बात नहीं है. इसी बहाने पूछने का अच्छा लगता है. How many rounds all of you are doing? Come, see, I am not, see, Krishna is see. Yes, especially how many rounds are you doing? 10. Yes, Rekha Mataji. 16. Doubtfully or confirmed? Confirmed. Very good. What about Mr. Biswas? 6. Okay. Very Neha Abhigramana. Swalpamasya Dharmasya is sticking to that. What about your counterpart? 2 or 3? You want to confirm that you want to take birth again? Jana nahi hai? See, you have to understand one thing. It's a long journey. Okay? अगर आप 2, 3, 3 करके रहेंगे, अभी समझो आपको 10 लाख रुपए जमा करना है और रोज आपने 2 रुपए जमा किए, 2 rupees you collected, 2 rupees you have to collect 10 lakh rupees. It will take long time, right? So it's better you start collecting more, at least 25 rupees, 50 rupees. तो उसी तरह कम से कम all of you all should do minimum 8 rounds flat. माधव कितना भी छुपा ले, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है. I am too smart for you. Because I was also one time a last bencher also. So don't worry, tell me. How many rounds you do? 2 कोशिश करते हैं, मतलब करते कितना वो वर्क बताओ. हो जाता है, मतलब गलती से हो जाता है या दो. Very busy. I mean, you got a lot of schedule, a lot of work throughout the day. तो कॉलेज में क्या आप क्या मतलब कंधे पे लेके चल रहे हो कॉलेज को, कैसा? प्रभु, minimum 6 rounds for you. Okay, minimum. Do you want to do 10? If you want to do 10, we are very happy. We will be very happy. Daddy will give another treat for us if you are doing 10 rounds. So you have a reason not to do 10 rounds, huh? I don't want my father to give a treat. And what about your brother? How many rounds? 2. Okay, then the rule applies to you also. Okay? 6 rounds to both of you all, at least from next class. Yes, Arnav. It reminds me of an old joke. Once one person was going in the road. He saw a banana peel, केले का छिलका देखा. And he saw that, but he still kept his leg on that. Slipped and he fell down. Next day he got up. Going in the same road, he saw another banana peel. What did he say? Oh, आज फिर गिरना पड़ेगा. It's like that. Again, I have to fall on this thing. See, there is an option for you to avoid that, but it is left to you. You will have to somehow or the other start your rounds. You may dodge Krishna, but Krishna can dodge you much better. Huh? That's for sure. Yes, Pradeep, how many rounds you are chanting? Fast. 1. Something less than that also is available here. Those who are chanting less than 8 rounds for you all, don't worry. 80,000 human life species, animal life species are available on the card. Don't worry. Pakka. Yes, and what about Vamshi? How many rounds you are chanting? बोलो. Fast. 0. नहीं, इसके नीचे तो जा नहीं सकते हो, इसके लिए हम आस्किंग.
एकादशी to एकादशी.
अच्छा अच्छा. It's like the sing Jumma to Jumma. Okay. Vaishali, you are doing only 10. Okay. Okay. Fine. Yes, Mataji. What about you? 16 rounds. Very nice. Keep it up. So I hope. What about you, Mataji? 16 rounds. And what about Jui and your other daughter? They are planning to start. They have any plans? Jui, how many rounds she does? 1 or 2. Okay. And what about the elder one? She's not. That's why I asked when are the plans to start. Okay. Request all of you all, please start your round seriously, because in this way we cannot continue devotion. Then we are doing pseudo devotion. We are not doing actual devotion. Devotion के नाम पे कुछ कर लेते हैं हम लोग, but that is not actual devotion. We are thinking we are doing something, or we are telling a lie to ourselves. Yes, I am doing devotion, but actually this is nothing but not real devotion, but it is pseudo devotion. Okay. Now, if someone gives up,
if someone gives up his occupational duties and works in Krishna consciousness and then falls down on account of not completing his work, what loss is there on his part? And what can one gain if one performs his material activities perfectly? Or, as the Christians say, we profit a man if he gains the whole world, yet suffer the loss of his eternal soul. Material activity.
One second. Chanting the holy name is a big task, colossal task for everyone. I include myself also in that. So it's a colossal task. 16 rounds, getting up in the morning. Oh my God, I can earn 1 lakh rupees a day. That's not that difficult task, but chanting 16 rounds is going to be a tough task. So for that, the benefits are so much that it exceeds the efforts of the task. I'll tell you a small story. एक बार एक चोर, डाकू, dacoit, he came near the outskirts of the village, and there he saw a nice house. बढ़िया घर था. अब बोला उसको लूटना है मुझे. Then he was wondering, let me check. There are people inside this house, or is this house inhabited or totally barren? What is it? Let me find out. So what he did, just like some like the evening twilight time. So he took a stone and he threw it at the house. छज्जे के ऊपर फेंका. खट करके आवाज आया. And inside there was one single middle-aged, semi-old person staying inside the house. Now this fellow looked out of the window, he could see someone standing, and he could guess out that he was not alone, there were 2 people. So they were planning, now today night we will loot this house. So to check, they put the stone, and this fellow came to know now, my life is in danger and I am all alone, how will I save myself? तो उसने क्या किया? तुरंत बलवंत सिंह, बहादुर सिंह को उठाओ. बलवंत सिंह, बहादुर सिंह को उठाओ. और पहाड़ सिंह क्या कर रहा है, उसको बुलाओ इधर. और अपने अर्जुन सिंह जो पहलवान है उनको बुलाओ. कोई पत्थर मार रहा है, देखो कौन है बाहर, और बाकी के लोगों को भी उठाओ. द पर्सन आउटसाइड, माय गॉड, पहलवान, अर्जुन सिंह, बलवंत सिंह, सूर सिंह, दिस दैट सिंह, माय गॉड, डेंजरस. ये घर में गलती से भी मुझे हमला नहीं करना चाहिए. He packed up his bag and he ran away. When नकली नाम असली प्रॉब्लम से बचा सकता है, तो असली नाम आपको क्यों नहीं बचाएगा? Are you getting this point? नकली नाम, सब नाम उसने जो लिए वो नकली थे, कोई थे नहीं वहां पे उस नाम के साथ, बट उस नकली नाम ने असली मुसीबत से बचा लिया. Could save himself from the real problem. But if we take the real name, the holy name which is for real, why will it not save you from the problems of life? That is why chanting is most important. One may give flimsy reasons. Prabhu, I got this, I've got too much of studies, I got too much of work, this, that, fine, agreed, all with due respects. Please do this chanting also, because all the activities you're going to do is on the material platform. But this activity of chanting will save you at the end, not now. Now it is a criminal wastage of time, criminal, boring thing. It's the most boring thing. You feel what inactivity I am doing. इससे अच्छा कुछ काम धंधा करूँगा, 2 पैसे तो मिलेंगे. ये हरे कृष्ण करने से क्या मिलने वाला है? Don't think like that. In the end it will pay. अभी कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, but it's all, बोलते ना आपका म्यूचुअल फंड में आता है लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट, लॉन्ग टर्म. जो म्यूचुअल फंड में डाला, एक वन ऑफ माई फ्रेंड, ही पुट अ लॉट ऑफ मनी इन द म्यूचुअल फंड, एंड नाउ द मार्केट क्रैश, ऑल दैट केम डाउन बिलो दैन अमाउंट व्हाट ही बॉट, उससे भी कम हो गया. एंड ही वेंट टू हिज एजेंट, ओ यू फूल्ड मी, यू इडियट, आई लॉस्ट माई मनी सो मच. डोंट वरी, ये सब लॉन्ग टर्म है. तो ये मुझे, मैं कितना लॉन्ग रहूँगा ये लॉन्ग टर्म देखने के लिए, मार्केट कब बढ़ेगा, कब पैसा मिलेगा. सो this is how the material world is. We all look into long term benefits, but are we looking into the real long term benefits? This is something which is good for the soul. Rest, all money earned, your gadi, your bangla, your all your material wealth and possessions have to be left the minute you leave this body. They are connected only to this body. They can't be carried forward to the next birth. You cannot go and tell next birth, hey, I was a very rich man last time, I was a doctor, I was an engineer, I was a lawyer, I was a great educated PhD doctorate, I was a NASA engineer, whatever you may be. Next birth starts with a new PAN card, with new Aadhaar card, and with the same A for apple, B for ball classes. Nothing is carry forward. But in devotion life, trayate mahato bhayat. Please complete, Prabhu.
Material activities and their results with the body, but work in Krishna consciousness carries a person again to Krishna consciousness. Even after the loss of the body, at least one is sure to have a chance in the next life to being born again as a human being, either in the family of the great cultured Brahmana or in a rich aristocratic family that will give one a further chance for elevation. That is the unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness.
That is what is Swalpamasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhayat, and it will never diminish. It will never diminish. जो भी आपने कमाया है भक्ति में, वो कभी उसका नुकसान नहीं, चाहे वो भगवान का नाम हो या आपने जो भी भजन कीर्तन किया है, जो भी आपने भगवान को भोग लगाया है, whatever you have done in the name of devotion, never go waste, because that is actual akarma. Rest is all karma. Either it will come in good karmas or in bad karmas. Now we will understand, the next verse is the propensity of the person, how a person thinks, how he behaves. Why does, we see people with devotional attitude have a different way of thinking, and those without devotion have a different way of attitude. That is discussed in the next verse. व्यवसाय आत्मिका बुद्धि एक कुरुनंदनः बहुशाखा अनंतस्य बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिनाम. Now let's understand this meaning, then I will explain to you the Sanskrit one. One who is on this path of those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. Now here we can understand this with a simple example. Okay, let me read this verse again. Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi. What does the word Vyavasaya means? Profession. Vyavasaya means क्या व्यवसाय करते हो आप? What profession or what work you do? तो व्यवसाय आत्मिका, आत्मा का व्यवसाय क्या है? What is the business of the soul? To do this Krishna consciousness or to do devotion. That's the व्यवसाय of the soul. Body का व्यवसाय बहुत है. right from decorating this body to feeding the senses is the vyavasaya of the body or the aim of the body. The body ka aim kya hai? How to keep this body nice, how to feed this body, how to do nice makeup for the body, how to use nice shampoos and this and that, going to beauty parlors and everything. That is the thing of the body. But what about the soul? Soul is only and only got to do with Krishna consciousness, nothing else, or simple devotion self. So vyavasaya atmika buddhi, jo buddhi, the mind or the intelligence which is focused on Krishna consciousness. Eka kurunandana is one focused. Bahushaka anantasya. Buddhayo avyavasayinam. Bahushaka means multiple branched. Now what is multiple branched? Buddhayo avyavasayinam. A person who is not attached to Krishna or to devotion service, he is multi-branched. What is this meaning of multi-branched? Yes, very important point. Demigod is also one important point. People like to run behind various gods or various demigods to fulfill their desires. But you have to understand one thing. At least there is some sattva in that. At least he is having a legitimate way of asking or fulfilling his desires. But जो भी हो ठीक है. See, that is different. That is different. That is वो माताजी, I'll tell you one thing. जो एक ही सोच के साथ गुरु के पीछे भाग रहा है कि इससे मुझे फायदा होगा, that is a material way of life. It is like you scratch my back, I scratch your back. The guru is also such. He says, you fulfill my desires and needs, I will fulfill your desires and needs. So this is paraspar. Like tu mera kaam kar, main tera kaam karta hu. That's the way they deal. But that is not the right way or the right approach. So in devotion, that is why we are talking of Nishkam Karma Yoga. What is Nishkam Karma Yoga? Wherein you don't expect any result on the return, but you are doing it just because out of love. The factor love is missing in this material world. There is only mutual benefit. That is what we call as love. Whereas actual love only remains with God. And if you say in the material world, to some extent, I always give this example of mother and child. Still, that love to an extent is uncorrupt. To some extent, I am not saying fully, but to some extent, the mother and child's love is not having any expectations from each other. But the mother's love towards the child. But rest everything is somewhere or other. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. Yes, what else? Hello?
The mind, people are not in Krishna consciousness, the mind, like it's not, kahin pe bhi they don't get happiness, so they keep on searching idhar, like even for one person who is taking alcohol, but then he is not okay with alcohol, then he take drugs also, he take this also, he take a lot of things. So
he has got multiple ways in which he wants to fulfill his desires and senses.
And every day is finding new ways.
That's why they have got so many varieties of drugs, so many varieties of alcohol, so many varieties of cigarettes, why you want so many varieties? That is giving happiness. I was given to understand right now you are having 1,700 channels. Today, if you calculate the total OTT platform, everything, total it comes to around 1,700 channels. It's total. I mean, talking of every bit of it. I'm talking of kids stuff, this and that. If you give 1 minute to one channel, 24 hours में you cannot complete. If you give 1 minute also, you cannot complete. Or rather, you can मुश्किल complete कर पाओगे, खाओगे, नहाओगे, धोगे तो. Even if you are not earning, at least you will have to take bath, you will have to go and do your daily activities. So, get this understanding very clear that this is Bahushaka Anantasya. You ask any person how you want to be happy. Morning I go to the gym, afternoon I go to a party, evening I go to a movie, night I go to the discotheque, at night I take drugs and alcohol. I'm doing all this. I'm doing breaking the 4 regulative principles in different various varieties and manners, and still I'm not happy. And the worst part is of those who are chanting 1 or 2 rounds. I'll tell you why it is a very nice joke. Where is mother? Is there, no? You should listen. The most unhappy are those who chant 1 or 2 rounds. You know why? The karmis are enjoying their life nicely. From this side of the river, the other side of the river always looks bright and clean. Wow, ये क्या बढ़िया खा रहा है, घूम रहा है, enjoy कर रहा है, whatever it is. It may be wrong, but still you have a feeling that side is bright. So neither can you enjoy his so-called material sense happiness, neither can you enjoy your happiness in this present way also. So either one completely focuses on Krishna consciousness, comes solely following the 4 regulative principles, chanting his rounds, reading his Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, attending satsang, that's enough. I'm not saying you all, become sadhus, take sannyas and, leave your family life and come to sit in the temple. No, I'm not saying that. The point here I'm trying to make is be fully Krishna conscious. Otherwise, when you are doing some nonsense, you can't enjoy that also properly. One who attends satsang and then he thinks in the night I will go and enjoy, he cannot enjoy. The level of the person who is totally blind to Krishna consciousness or who is blind to satsang, वो पूरा enjoy कर सकता है. He can enjoy fully because he is not worried about the law of karma. He is not worried about all those things. I gave an example yesterday. The serial we used to see Ravan getting heads and then Ram firing an arrow, 10 heads gone. Again within 2 minutes, 10 heads coming out again he fires. Again the heads fall down. What does that depict? That depicts the same thing. After satsang, for 1 day, all our heads are gone. The Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam knocks off all your heads. Heads in the sense, Ravana's sense gratification heads. And then what happens? Monday again it pops up. So that the whole week you can live like a nice Ravana. Then again on Saturday, Sunday when you come to satsang, again those heads are cut off. Again to pop up on Monday. So please remember, this is Bahushakha Anantasya. And one of the biggest drawback today, and it was already discussed last time in the preachers meet, that actually Prabhupada has given 4, but now we have to add the 5th, mobile or internet. The 5th regulative principle has to be mobile. Because people are trying to search some happiness inside this also. 1700 channels कम पड़ा, इसके अंदर भी Facebook, Instagram, ये वो, what are you searching? अच्छा मिल गया क्या? मिल गया तो बोलो, हम लोग भी आते हैं. We are ready to follow you. अगर इसमें happiness मिल रहा है तो we are ready to follow you. नहीं मिल रहा है, but फिर भी it's like digging for water, but the well is dry. Digging deeper and deeper and deeper. Finally goes so deep inside that you cannot come out. You're trapped inside. And then what you're going to do? It's better use your intelligence and get out of it. So, Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi Eka Kurunandana. It is one focused. And then one focus is going back to Godhead. Getting out of the cycle of birth and death. But not to be inactive. After death, one should serve the Lord. Death means what? Giving up this gross body. But with the soul, what is the duty of the soul? Duty of the soul is to serve God. And that is what we are doing. This is the net practice. This is the net practice. We cannot directly go there and start serving. We will not know anything, no? So better we start practicing to serve here now. So that when we go there, क्या कुछ क्या बोलते प्रोबेशन कुछ है प्रोबेशन कुछ किया है व्हाट इज इट internship have done some internship or anything then appointment becomes easier if you don't have any internship your appointment becomes difficult so यहाँ पे थोड़ा internship कर लेना अच्छी बात है तो ये आधा माला एक माला पाव माला करके कोई मतलब नहीं है करो तो पूरा 6-8 माला करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा तो क्या इतना पूरा पुअर इंटर्नशिप रिजल्ट ये रख के कोई लेगा नहीं आता वापस. You'll have to come here. And now, benefit is there. Even if you chant half round, don't worry. Next birth you will start from full round. Choice is your for your. I never force, because when Krishna has given a free will, who am I to interfere with the free will? But still, it is better for yourself. So otherwise, you will be बहुशाखा अनंतस्य. अनंत. यहाँ पे चिंता, बैठे बैठे क्लास में भी चिंता. Don't have that much. Be focused on one thing. Rest things will happen of its own course. You don't have to break your head. Everything Lord has planned something or the other. We don't know what His plans are. The problem is we want the things to happen as per our plan. But it will not happen as per our plan. It will happen as per the plan of the Lord. Okay, who will read the purport? I want someone else reading the purport. Who will read? Shraddha Madaji नहीं. चलो समृत पढ़ो.
A strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasatmika intelligence. The Chaitanya Charitamrita states, faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity or nationality.
Prabhupada has very been soft here. Actual fact is, you are not obliged to serve your so-called social society, social friends. I mentioned yesterday, what is the biggest drawback for grahasthas? देखा देखी. देखा देखी में हमारा पूरा जीवन आयु जा रहा है. Only just because one grahastha has done something, the second grahastha follows that. The third grahastha follows that. Fourth grahastha follows that. Just because someone has bought a trending thing, anything it can be, the same trending thing is bought by others. Why? That's the biggest drawback in a grahastha ashram. We can only copy, or we can be in a race or a rat race created by our own selves. एक rat race हमने खुद बनाया है जिसमें हम लोग भाग रहे हैं, which does not exist. And running in that race, we are killing our own life. And we don't know how much of life is left with us. कितना आयु बचा है कि सबके पास कोई बता सकता है? Life is short. So better do it promptly. Yes.
Fruitive activities are the engagements of one's reactions from past good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities of such attractions, unenlightened men are similarly attracted by such heavenly opulence and sense enjoyment thereof. In Karma Kand section of the Vedas,
one second, here Prabhupada is entering at one more important point which I forgot to mention. We are talking about only one-sided thinking. That one-sided thinking is karmis. But the pseudo-devotees, so-called, especially you see many people, there are some unwanted, kathakars who give less of katha and sing more of songs. One Acharya says very nicely, अगर इससे अच्छा अगर तुमको नाचना गाना ही है तो संगीत संध्या कर लो ना. भागवतम का कथा क्यों रखते हो अगर नाचना गाना ही है तो? It's better you have something more resolute, more focused. So these people are also called as pseudo devotees. They are not devotees, they are pseudo devotees. They are doing something in the name of devotion which they consider as devotion, but it is not actual devotion. We have to understand that what is actual devotion and what is pseudo devotion. And most of us, in the name of devotion, kahin na kahin we divert into pseudo devotion. And why it is? Because that is easy to perform, and that is giving pleasure to your senses again. So we are trying to do something which is giving pleasure to your senses. So in the name of devotion, that always gives us example, ना, जैसे हम लोग खाने के ऊपर धनिया डालते हैं, coriander leaves डालते हैं ना खाने के ऊपर to make enhance the taste, or grate some cheese and put it. So make any nonsense and grate some cheese and put over it, it looks cheesy. और धनिया डाल दिया. वैसे हम लोग कोई भी काम करते हैं, but we like to garnish it with so-called devotion. That's why Krishna bar. Why there is Krishna bar? Ganesh Bidi. There is logic. Is there any logic? Ganesh Bidi. अरे गणेश जी कहाँ गए? He is smoking a bidi. Krishna bar. Sudama, some nonsense. I don't want to name anything. But what I mean to say is, we garnish it. मैं spiritual हूँ भाई. मतलब सुबह भले वो बियर बार ओनर 100 लोगों की जिंदगी बिगाड़ता रहेगा, but सुबह what will he do? He'll do nice diya batti, apply some tilak and all, as if he is highly spiritual, and then he'll butcher those people by selling them alcohol and things. So these are the things. So we have to understand, it is not only talking about karmis, it is also talking about pseudo devotees. And last but not the least, a very important point. As Mataji first said, Karma Kand also in due course of time starts with some project and ends with another project. It starts very nicely, but then it totally deviates a person from doing actual devotion. And then it becomes just a barter. मैं 16 सोमवार किया तो मेरे को रिटर्न में क्या मिलेगा? What will I get in return of my 16 शुक्रवार, 16 सोमवार? I have done 16 शुक्रवार, I have done 16 सोमवार, तो मुझे रिटर्न में कुछ दो. हर मंगलवार को मैं नॉनवेज नहीं खाता हूँ, उसके रिटर्न में कुछ दो. अरे पूरा बाकी 6 days a week you are eating non-veg, उसका क्या? That no one is bothered about. Every मंगलवार I don't drink, I don't eat, whatever it is. That's what is pseudo devotion, and that is the most dangerous thing, and that is maximum prevalent in today's date. Please continue.
In other words, those who perform the 4-month penances become eligible to drink the somaras beverage to become immortal and happy forever. Even on
Acha, one more thing, this is a wrong misconception many people have got. The somaras which is available in the heavenly planets, that is जो चतुर्मास से करता है, the 4 months जो है ना, जो चतुर्मास से करता है उसको, he is elevated to heavenly planet. And somaras is not alcohol, it is a decoction or kadha. That is simple to easy to remember, right? काढ़ा बोलेगा तो समझ में आएगा. It is another काढ़ा made of सोम पत्ती. सोम झाड़ जो है, वेल है, उसकी पत्तियों को उबाल के उससे बनता है. And it is supposed to be very tasty. Definitely it's in the heavenly planets. It's not like नीम का पत्ता. Definitely it's going to be nice. So it is going to be very tasty. But please don't equate it equal to सोम का वेल आता है. सेम के वेल के पत्तों को तोड़ के बनाया था, इसके लिए उसको सोम रस कहते हैं. यहाँ पे जैसा आप लोग यहाँ काढ़ा बनाते हो, कुछ पत्ते डालते हो, तुलसी डालते हो, ये सब डाल के उबाल के आप निकालते हो, उसका एक रस निकालते हो, उसी तरह उसका रस निकलता है. या बड़ा बन ये 8 of 1 पैराग्राफ चलेगा नहीं.
all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is a renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. The resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Vasudev Sarvam Iti
Samatma Sudurlabha.
A person in Krishna consciousness is the rare good soul who knows perfectly that Vasudev or Krishna is the root of all manifested causes. As by watering the root of a tree, one automatically distributes water to the leaves and branches. So by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely self, family, society, country, humanity, etc. If Krishna is satisfied by one's actions, then everyone will be satisfied. Service in Krishna consciousness is, however, best practiced under the able guidance of a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Krishna who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. As such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly and obey the representative of Krishna, and one should accept the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master as one's mission of life. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur instructs us in his famous prayers for the spiritual master as follows.
Yes,
By
read.
By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied. And by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. If I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisance unto him, my spiritual master, the whole process, however, depends on perfect knowledge of the soul beyond the conception of the body, not theoretically but practically. When there is no longer a chance for sense gratification manifested in fruitive activities, one who is not firmly fixed in mind is diverted by various types of fruitive acts.
In next verse, we'll talk about how we are attracted towards the fruitive activities in the Vedas and what is the seed of attraction is given in the next verse, but that will take next session because already it's time. So let us understand that Karmakand is not bad, but in due course of time one follows Karmakand and gets deviated. Okay, with this we'd like to close today's class. You can close the recording, not a problem. Yes, anybody has got any doubts, questions, can ask. And